Greetings and welcome, everyone. It's an All You Can Geek bonus round, Spoilercast, for Defenders on Netflix. I was going to say season...
Netflix, Defender, Netflix,
Yeah.
Marvel, whatever it's called.
Yeah, I was going to say Defenders like
Marvel's
season
Defenders.
2. And I'm like, wait, it's not season 2, it's season 1 of the Defenders. So, so welcome, listeners and viewers. Again, this is a Spoilercast, so if you have not seen the Defenders yet on Netflix or all of it, you might want to tune in afterwards. We've given you enough time, though. So
And
hopefully
we're
you
gonna
have...
spoil every other show that's come before.
Oh, yeah.
as well.
So this is going to be like
Just
a full
another
talk.
warning for that.
So, because you have to with this show. So let's get right into it. Stop listening if you haven't heard. We're gonna get right into it. So here we go. So guys, we've given our impressions of this, us three at least, of the show. By the way, I want to reduce my score to a 6.5 after the freshness and newness of the show.
And we're all here, by the way.
Oh yeah, we're all here. Welcome everybody. Welcome Mike, Corey, and Tony. Sorry,
So-
I'm a little off with my introductions. So I would like to say I'm going to reduce my 7 score to a 6.5 because I think that's a little bit more accurate for
Isn't
it.
that what I said? I
think you gave a 6.5. Yeah, and I think
I'm around
Tony,
that.
yeah,
I was
everybody's around that score. And I was like, I'm not disputing a 6. I wasn't disputing 6.5 either. I'm like, it's close. Like, and the more you think about it as you
I'm
get
just
further
trying to-
out, 6.5 covers it. But
Some-
I discussed it with Mike. Mike's the only one that didn't give his impressions overall of the show, and I know Mike, you actually enjoyed it quite a bit, right?
Well, I enjoyed it maybe like a point higher than that.
Okay. So you-
7.5.
7.5?
Probably.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah. It
Yeah.
just it started better than it ended for sure.
well, see, here's the thing, and that's what I wanted to get into right now. Like, I think we go through your opinion of it, and we'll talk about the show, because I feel like the start of the show it's an epilogue of the shows that we've watched.
Yeah, in a way, but they at least I was worried that we would have like single episodes for each like character
Oh.
before they all came together, and we really didn't have that. We had cutting between them, and it still took a while for them to get together, but I didn't mind it that much.
Yeah, it didn't feel like, because I was worried about that too. I thought like we're gonna get like Daredevil's episode, and then we'll get Jessica Jones' episode, and then we'll get Luke Cage's episode, and then we'll get Iron
Yeah, but
Fist's episode.
with only 8 episodes, they couldn't do that. They really couldn't.
Yeah, no, and I'm very
I know.
appreciative of that not happening here. Like, you got Jessica Jones and Daredevil right away, and you got Luke Cage and Iron Fist pretty much right away. So I like that.
Yeah.
At the beginning, and them coming together was awesome. That's why these shows like were made.
Yeah,
I felt
like-
this is what I wanted to see, these shows come together and
I remember
become
talking
one
with
ultimate.
I remember Tony, you were asking me on Slack about if it wasn't any good the first episode, and I said meh. And then at the end of episode 2, I just gave a thumbs up because that's like the kickoff episode, really, when you know Matt meets Jessica Jones in the police station essentially, and as her lawyer. And so like I thought
And
that
that's
was
right out of the comics too.
Yeah.
Like that,
yeah.
pretty much.
So I thought that was a pretty cool sequence there. Like even the Iron Fist meeting Luke Cage, while that felt a little forced, I felt that at least it tied Luke Cage into it a little bit. I felt like the only thing that was a little loose was his tie-in. I don't know why.
I felt like
Who,
Jessica
Luke Cage or
Yeah, Luke Cage's.
I felt Jessica was pretty loosely tied in too. I didn't 100% buy that she would just keep going with this like she did.
Oh, you mean the
But-
investigation? I don't know. I mean,
Yeah. But then again, I think it's been like the longest I guess since I've seen any version of her show, right?
yeah. It's
We've
been,
had Daredevil season 2 more recently than everyone else, so I don't really remember
Yeah,
everything about like how she acted then. But
Yeah. Now her show obviously was based around.
she's got a thing for lost causes.
The only good villain of the shows. I mean, there's been, you know, I said they had a villain problem, and that's what I want to get into real quick here. Like Sigourney Weaver is the new character for this show, and I have a feeling that we can sit on this character for a while and hate like crazy. I mean,
Did you say sit on this character or
just-
shit on this character? Because
I said sit on this character for a while, but shit on the character probably fits better. I mean, does anybody like her in this show? Like, did you guys like her at all?
I felt like early on it looked like she could have had potential, but I was expecting something
What
more to be revealed about her that never happened.
What the fuck was her point? Like, she was this big bad, and she really wasn't that big bad, right?
I hate that. I hate when series do that. They build up a villain and then shit happens and it's like, oh look, I'm the new villain for the last, third act, the final act. Just like in one of them. It's like, come
Which
on,
seems
this is so fucking dumb.
a thing to do now.
Well, I mean, they
Seems
did that
to be
with
what they keep doing now.
they did that with Luke Cage, obviously. I didn't like
They did
that
it to a
switcheroo.
lesser extent with Daredevil season 2 as well.
Yeah, I feel like at least we had Kilgrave. It was Purple Man.
Mm-hmm.
And that was a great villain. And I thought Kingpin,
Yeah.
obviously, from season 1's a great
Yeah.
villain, too. But
He was threatening. I mean, you felt nervous for the characters when he was around.
Yeah.
No villain
If she
here
actually
does that.
right, if she had done anything, or any of the villains had
anything.
actually
If she
done
did anything, like, she just was so, like, what the fuck was she intimidating for? It was never established why she was so intimidating.
The whole you know dynamic between her and her colleagues, I guess, was confusing too.
The fingers
because-
of the hand.
I got
fucking fingers
it
of the
that she
hand.
was the
Is she
leader.
the thumb?
No, she was
the
like,
leader
I got
of
her,
them?
she was the
She's
leader
the
of them.
thumb?
Yeah. Like, they were colleagues, but she's the leader of them. That's what I got.
She's definitely the leader, but
It seemed
They
like
gave
that
you
early
no
on, and then
reason
later
to
on it's like,
believe
oh
that.
wait, they don't care
Here's-
about her.
And I think that might be, I mean, I don't know. I think that might be the problem, because she wasn't, with all these other characters were established and we knew who they were.
oh, not all of them. The black guy wasn't established. Japanese guy wasn't
That's right.
established.
The Japanese guy wasn't.
Fuck
That's
those
right.
guys.
Yeah. They were just thrown in as extras. That's right. All we had was Gal.
The black
They were-
guy
they-
came out of nowhere, but the Japanese guy, we didn't know him, but they said that he was the guy that ordered around the
No.
ninja from Nobu.
Yeah.
So it's like,
Yeah. But
he was a badass. You're just like, oh well.
You
he's
expected
obviously-
something from him. I was so
The whole
hyped
series,
for that
I was
guy.
expecting him to do shit, and he
Because
just
he
got.
was always the one being like, "I'm gonna spearhead this mutiny thing, and we're gonna we're gonna do what we want because we're awesome." And he was like, his introduction was fantastic, like just gutting that like bear or whatever it
Yeah.
was. I'm like, dude, this guy's gonna kick some major ass.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he fucking does nothing.
I mean, they did nothing. That the entire hand did nothing, right?
That's the big problem. I mean,
Yeah, that's it.
their plan was really stupid. Their abilities were not defined at all, other than they're just trying not to die, and obviously they're around forever. I don't know if Sigourney Weaver was more about to die than everyone else. I think we were supposed to assume that,
Yeah.
and Madame Gao has powers that no one else has. And the other guy, Iron Fist villain guy, what's his name? Bakudo.
Bakudo, yeah. I liked
he's
his.
bullet-
Did anybody else
He's
think like?
bulletproof, apparently.
Did anybody else think like his convenient resurrection for the show is just like ridiculous? Like, oh hi, I'm here.
I thought he was
No,
ridiculous
he
in
was
general.
missing at the end of the other. Wasn't he missing at the end of Iron Fist?
Yeah. Yep.
So he was already resurrected probably then.
You just, man, they could have done so much more with these villains, and that's why I only gave it 6.5 or whatever. Like, the villains in the show could have been so much better, and they had potential there.
They needed an episode early on to establish the villains and why they were
a villain
fingers of pain.
episode.
Yes,
Like,
like, no heroes at
all
all.
they did was
just
talk. Like I think
Yeah.
you said that last time, Tony. But all they did was just sit around talking. They never did anything that made
You
you
were
believe
supposed
them
to
a super threat.
just feel real bad about it because like the way they like totally screwed over that family Luke Cage was with, like in every way possible. That mother and like the children, like that I think was their attempt to establish them. The problem is they're not really doing it directly at all. It just
It could
established
have been
why
anyone though. It could
everyone.
have been like anybody, like some random like drug dealer. It could have been
Well,
anybody.
that's what everyone thought it was at that point. Yeah. So
Right, but they never established how deep the hand actually was in New York City, and that's what they needed to do. I mean, they easily could have had something with, even though Iron Fist already went into it, like messing in with the Rand Corporation. They could have done something with Matt Murdock's, lawyership, or with Jessica Jones and her, her fuck up with her investigation. Like, Luke Cage just messing him and maybe throwing him back into jail or threatening, something like that. Just show that not only could they like be a threat physically, but like politically as well. Huge missed opportunity there.
I feel like they
because
could
of the fact that they did that kind of in all the other seasons where they build these villains up to this point where like, okay, now we're gonna get to see how this became to be or how or why they're so like powerful. And like we kept hearing Danny Rand say it over and over, they're in everything. They anything you do, they're involved. And it's like, well, really, they have a bunch of thugs and these 5 people that they call themselves fingers of a hand, and that's it.
All I know is they tied into Iron Fist more than anything because they were the dropouts of his temple. But that's it, you can't. And maybe that's what lost it because Iron Fist the show is so poor that it maybe that
I don't blame Iron Fist for this.
Okay.
I really think the problem was partially actually the shortened season because if they had more time for them to do.
Yeah,
That's
Tony,
exactly what I said.
Tony said that the other
machinations and stuff.
That's
Yeah,
exactly what I said. This is the one series that needed 10 episodes.
yeah.
Mhm.
It would have been better if we had a little more time to build, or if they actually accomplished anything they were trying to do.
Yeah,
Because
they didn't
really-
do
Well, the
anything.
problem is they
really
kind of do accomplish, in a sense, but that's because Iron Fist is a doofus again, and this is just like being Iron Fist.
Yeah.
I love. There's a moment in probably like 4 or 5, the episode where shit goes down between all of them in that warehouse or whatever the base of operations was for a little while, where he goes, "I am the immortal Iron Fist," and you just see Luke Cage and he just rolls his eyes. I'm just like, "Thank you." That's how I feel every time he says that fucking line. It's like, you're an idiot. Shut up. Nobody cares.
Yeah.
You're the only person that matters to at all.
They said that the writing was not for that. It wasn't a reaction to how badly Iron Fist was like received. It was just happened to be this. It just tied into what everybody's thinking. By the way, because I read that there was an article on that.
Oh, really?
It was somebody had wondered if they had done that deliberately because of how poorly Iron Fist was received. But no, that's just the writing. And God, yeah.
I mean, on a certain level, you are supposed to kind of think he's an idiot, like intentionally.
It's just so against character, though. Like for what he's trained his entire life to be.
Yeah, because that's the thing. He's always telling other people.
He's a kid who's not really.
Who's old his
doesn't really know
whole
how to deal
life.
with
He's
other
been
people.
training for something.
Right,
Yeah, I
he's been
know.
training more as the Iron Fist than he was as
He
a
was
kid.
supposed
And
to
the thing
be
is-
the defeater of to defeat the hand is
Defender.
what he was defender. Well,
Right.
and defeat the hand.
And constantly, he's always telling other people, like, "Oh, I've mastered my emotions and this and the other thing." And he's the character
Even up
out of his
everything.
entire series that goes most off the handle and just loses his shit all the time. It was like,
By the
no,
way, I would like to point out that I did predict they were going to write him like Johnny Storm. Right off the bat.
Like, so, and the other problem is we find out what the hand's trying to do and what they need to accomplish it, and that's the Iron Fist. And his first reaction is, "I need to fight and get closer to these people because they want me."
Yeah.
Everyone else's reaction is like, "No, dude, stay away.
Lock you in
and,
this
like,
room. Yeah.
We'll take care of this."
Well,
shit.
I mean,
and Stick's like,
who's-
"I actually have a better solution. I'm just gonna fuck you, kill
kill you.
you, and we'll take care of it from there." Like, obviously, they don't need to get that drastic, but it would have been so much better if he is trying to run from the hand, and because the hand is so powerful, they just overwhelm him and they just take him out instead of him running to them. Like that was just.
How do we? Let's go back to Stick.
Well, I mean, what kind of heroic character is really just going to run away though from someone they're
He's
supposed
not going to run
to be
at
their
them.
enemy?
Like if you know
He's
that
not
like
gonna
you
run
are the
away
one
from
thing
them.
they need to open the door. Why would you go to them? Just be like, yeah, I'm gonna just sit over here and chill. Let them come to us. They have to come to us to get me. We can set a huge trap for
Pick
this.
any other like hero you like who would you think would be in character? Be like, all right, I'm the key. I'll just run away from them.
Punisher.
Who would do that?
Punisher.
Punisher? No, he would kill them.
Yes, he would, but he would set up a trap to kill them, like as they came to get him.
He would not be running headfirst to try to get there. Is what I'm saying. Is like he shouldn't be doing that now. Like. Yes, of course, he needs to be heroic and save the day at some point, but he doesn't have to be an idiot and try to get there. And again, he doesn't necessarily try to get there, like Electric gets him or whatever. But I just felt like his first reaction was kind of dumb.
What do you guys think about Stick's
yeah,
end? Just moving back to Stick real quick. What do you think about Stick's end in the show and this show?
I thought that was actually pretty good. I thought that was one of the better things in the show.
I think I like Stick's character in this show.
I always have. That's why I like bringing his character to an end in this series. Do we like that? I mean, I don't know if I like that. That's the thing.
I mean, I would like to see more of him, but
I don't think we've seen the end of him.
Okay, I would prefer to see him in season 3 of Daredevil. And maybe see an end there. That's what I was looking for. Like he's more tied in with Daredevil than anybody. So, and we really haven't gotten too much from him as to why he was doing what he was doing because it was more like he was prepping them for this war, and then he decided to just kill the figure of the war. I don't know, like to kill the Iron Fist instead.
Well, the whole thing was he didn't know what the hand was up to, and then when he found out what the hand was up to, he's like,
kill him. Okay.
Well, I'll just like if that's what you want, if that's your goal, I would rather kill the Iron Fist than let you have it.
Yeah.
Which was the right move.
It is the right move, yeah. And plus, we all don't like Danny Rand anyway, so hey, do the world a favor.
Yep. Not to mention, this is the end, but it was just so dumb because he's one-on-one with Elektra, and he's just getting his ass kicked completely, fully aware that they need the Iron Fist. And what does he do? He fucking lights it up. It's like, bro, are you serious right now? I can understand maybe trying to fight your way past her, but to light up your fist when she's been doing nothing but monkeying you, Come the fuck on. Are you dumb?
Yeah, no, they made him really stupid in this. I mean, that's the problem with Danny Rand. His character just comes across just a whiny little brat. And they said that in the show multiple times. And that covers him pretty well. Let's go to the other heroes, though. We could talk about how... Because I thought the rest of them did a great job. I thought that Luke Cage was good, Jessica Jones, and Daredevil as well. I thought they were good.
When Luke Cage and Danny Rand were together, I thought they had a good dynamic.
Yeah,
sure. The buddy thing, yeah, I thought they did good too. And I thought Jessica Jones, I thought she was fine with the group too. And I really did enjoy that dynamic with them on the screen. I liked that quite a bit. Which is why I gave it a 6.5. I mean, I really enjoyed that.
Yeah, no, I mean, the best part of the show is when they were all together.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Like, we've been talking about the downside of it. The upside right now is, like, let's talk about, having superpowered people together was pretty cool to watch.
Yeah, and I love their reactions to each other as far as, like, their abilities and stuff, and just how, like, real it was, in the sense, like, that's probably how people would react when you see a blind man doing parkour in the back alley or something. You're like, no, dude, I know who you are.
Yeah.
Pretty easy to figure it out.
Yeah, I did like that, yeah.
I think maybe one of my favorite scenes in the whole thing, like you said, it could have been, it was kind of weird or forced, but I don't care that much because the fight between Danny Rand and Luke Cage, I thought was one of the best things that they did this series.
No, that was awesome. I mean, was good. The fight between Daredevil and Iron Fist was probably my favorite.
Yeah, there's some good ones, and that's funny because we're talking about the fights between the heroes as being our favorite fights, not with the villains. Yeah.
Well, you got this. Here's the thing, like, what this reminded me of a little bit was the Ninja Turtles. Like, I know Ninja Turtles was originally created as like a takeoff of Daredevil comics, and you can kind of see it here, this live action thing, because the hand is literally like the Foot Clan. They're just disposable ninja dudes coming out of God knows where all the time.
I mean, and the foot, the hand. I mean,
yeah.
You get
they didn't really try to get the mask.
Foot, fingers of the hand.
Yeah, I agree. I think that, I don't know.
It felt a little bit like watching Ninja Turtles here and there.
Super Shredder in this shit, man. Come on.
I am the Iron Foot.
But, and also, that reminds me, this is going way back to the end.
That's fine. I mean, I don't care about breaking down the entire show.
It's just something I felt like was a bit of a plot hole or something, but Daredevil thought that only the hand, I think it seemed like he said only the fingers of the hand were in that building, and then they have like dozens of just henchmen in there later.
Yeah, I gathered it. I mean, maybe he took Luke Cage's meaning of innocent people, but I gathered it was like nobody gets killed except for like those 5 people of the hand. And I'm like, they had tons of henchmen down there. So who've lived for like thousands of years, like by cheating death. So it's like whatever. I thought that was going to be part of the point because I'm like, but no, I guess we're just going to kill all those henchmen. Okay. Okay, so I mean,
it's definitely way easier to criticize this show.
It is. We're starting to pick this apart more.
Thing. It's like our spoiler cast for like Stranger Things is way harder to criticize that show, where it is the opposite.
You helped out way far.
Yeah, I mean, there are things to criticize. But I'm saying there are things to talk. Like, we can't speak positively about this show because there are some good things here, but it is a lot easier to criticize.
What I did like about the series.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
No, go ahead. Good stuff. Good stuff.
What I was going to say is what I really did like about the series was that it felt like a natural regression from each of their individual solo series. Kind of like a 1.5, or in Daredevil's case, like a 2.5, where it felt natural. It didn't feel forced. It didn't feel like they were doing this just because. They
were progressing. They were progressing storylines in their next seasons.
Right, and that's what I like, because I feel like everything that happened this season, they will, during Defenders, will carry on to their individual, like,
Misty's going to have one arm. She's going to have a robotic arm in Luke Cage, obviously. And,
obviously.
And they even said that
Star's
Foggy...
not giving it to her, though, unfortunately.
No, I know. Foggy and Matt's relationship is a little bit better than it was at the end of Season 2, which was completely broken.
Rebirth, I mean, or Reborn... That's one of the most popular Daredevil comics, series, Reborn. And basically the ending of Defenders is the opening part of Reborn.
Cool.
With Maggie. And spoilers, Maggie is the name of his mom.
Oh, okay. I did not know this. Cool.
But, no, there were things that, like, obviously I think most of the action was good. It did not reach the highs, I think, of some of the previous action scenes, especially in Daredevil. But most of the action was pretty good, aside from when it became a little too Ninja Turtle-y here and there.
Yeah,
But-
I think a lot of the problem is that Jessica Jones and Luke Cage, I don't know if it's their actors or just the choreographer just doesn't know what to do with them or can't. It just
well, they need to be conveyed as not having martial arts skills compared to everyone else.
no. I absolutely, I understand that.
If you watch Luke Cage, that guy trained to be a fighter for a long time.
Right, I don't
And
expect
a
him to be doing
boxer.
like ninja flips like, Daredevil or, Luke Cage, but I expect, not Luke Cage, Iron Fist, but I expect Luke Cage to be able to brawl at least, which he hasn't. He's only like been a tank. He just takes the hits.
Yeah.
And Jessica Jones just, uses her super strength, which I can
I
understand.
did
but
like the way they
make
did
it
Jessica Jones, because she's like, am I the only one that doesn't know kung fu? And then she just like uses her strength for that. That's what she does.
I did think that it was a little strange. Like, what would she actually do? Because like, she doesn't have like durability like like Luke does, but she's strong, and like so like how is she like avoiding like taking all these hits on because she doesn't really know what she's doing? I don't know, but I did like that they actually look different in combat than like everyone else. It's not like, I'll go back to Buffy the Vampire Slayer. I hated, especially in the early ones, how like all the vampires like were obviously like trained like kung fu type choreography guy. It was like everyone with like powers like does the same like spin kicks and stuff. It's like, okay.
Well, I thought that
I was glad they looked different in
I was
action.
gonna say, there's yeah. I will say, bringing up another point, like I thought it was weird to watch Luke Cage getting hit, like moving backwards in the cavern. I felt like they did.
Well,
that was more for us, like more of a dramatic for the TV. That was
There's
more of a TV thing.
another
There's a plot
issue
point
here
I think.
with
Plot
the villains
device.
again, because we have no idea what the abilities of the fingers of the hand are. They could be extra strong. Same thing with Elektra. She's
That was
back.
never established. Yeah.
She seems stronger.
Like, what is
Obviously-
Black Sky? Like, we never find out what Black Sky
No,
really means.
this is this.
Well,
is my
I
biggest
gathered
issue.
Black Sky is what it is being used to resurrect the
No.
hand.
No, it was her.
No.
Because the kid
She
was
was the
Black
Black
Sky.
Sky.
Yeah,
and now
well, they
she's
were.
the Black Sky.
I know. Weren't they using the fluid to resurrect themselves? The Black Sky stuff.
No, but
Yeah,
like,
so-
no, that's the Dragon Bones, man.
Oh, I don't know.
So no, Black
Dragon
Sky
Bone
was
Dust
her.
does it.
It's
Okay.
just
She
she's
was Black
supposed to
Sky,
be this
but
weapon.
Yeah.
who was the kid
And-
then? Like,
Fake, false Black Sky.
The first one?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Nope.
They're like, let's actually get an adult-sized person. Maybe that'll be better. I don't know.
All right.
But that's why their plan made no sense.
Yeah.
Black Sky, just her with her undefined powers that help them.
Yeah, it just goes to show, like, again, they didn't establish what these characters are capable of. They tried to with, like, earthquake tremors and stuff, and it's like, okay, I guess, but they're like, oh, New York's going to be a strong. I never felt that was actually going to happen for an instant. I was like, yeah, there's no way they're going to do that. So it just wasn't believable.
And also, it was just like, they didn't do it on purpose. It just happened to be a side effect of them getting that, like, dragon bone marrow. So it's like, how nefarious of scheme is this?
Well,
It's just like,
no, because when she first showed up on the
Beginning.
rooftop, there was tremors. She caused tremors, but that was it. And it was just like, oh. Like, that was literally what caused everything, episode 3 or 4 or whatever it was.
I think really it's like end of 2 or whatever. Or whenever
Yeah,
Danny Rand like arrived in New York City and was like,
the end of the
Yeah,
first
but-
episode was the
Yeah,
earthquake,
that's right.
I think. Yeah. But I think that was just them, like, screwing around down there, trying to get to the bones, getting to that wall
No,
where they needed
No.
Danny Rand.
no, she specifically says how like you'll watch cities fall and be rebuilt to
Yeah.
Elektra.
I got a nefarious Ra's al Ghul vibe from what they were trying to do. I just didn't feel like it was as deep as that. Like, it was never that.
No,
that
there's
real.
never any point to like. It's like, okay, we're gonna take down New York City, but like they
Yeah.
never show you
Yeah.
that they are going. But whatever. I think we should probably just give our final thoughts here.
Yeah, I think so. Well, Corey's got Destiny 2 to play, guys. Come on. Come on. All right, so overall, like I said, I'll give it a 6.5 out of 10. I felt like the series, it worked. When it worked, it worked. I enjoyed it quite a bit. It was fun. And it did advance the other shows to their seasons coming up. So it makes me more excited, except for Iron Fist. I really don't care about that show. But I am interested in Luke Cage again. I'll give it another shot, that one, because that was still pretty solid the first half and okay the second half. So Daredevil, Luke Cage is coming next year. Jessica Jones is next year. The Punisher's still coming this year, right?
November 10th, I guess.
November.
That hasn't been announced, but that seems like a perfect day for
We'll
it.
get to see the first episode at
Veterans
Comic-Con.
Day and
You know we're watching that first episode of Comic-Con. So, all right, guys, give your impressions. Corey.
like 6-5 for me. I really liked seeing them all together, and it just makes me want to see like a Luke Cage, Iron Fist show. Don't really know about Jessica Jones after the first season. That was a great show, but she seems like she could be a side character. Oh, sorry.
Oh, now he's gonna take a break. The heater's going. Tony. Oh wait, we'll let him finish. He's back already. Go ahead, finish up.
So basically, I think they don't work very well as their solo characters, these heroes. I would rather see them as a team-up group. Daredevil can work as a solo character. I think he would be great, and I'm really, really looking forward to season 3. Cause
I think they can come back. I
If
hope
what they're doing,
basically
what they're teasing is going to be a fantastic story.
All right, Tony?
Good, not great. Like I said, probably around the same range, 6.5. It has some definite highs, probably not as high as the individual series do. At least Daredevil, definitely not.
Mm-hmm.
But it's still worth watching. Great groundwork. I'm hoping they can use this to move the characters forward in their individual series. And if there is going to be Defender season 2, which it's most likely, hoping they learn from it and can give us more of what we want. Of a good villain. Established. Everything. Really did feel rushed.
Now that the hand's out of the way, just bring the Kingpin back.
Yep, I'm thinking they might. But the one thing I really want to touch upon lightly, and what else I liked was the side characters from each of the series showing up and having some interaction there, because it's always like, I wonder what Foggy, how they would act with, Trish or something like that. And,
having them in the same room there.
Yeah, exactly. I just wanted a little bit more of that.
That was kind of funny, actually. They had like every side character in one room.
Yeah, it was
right. And
cool.
The thing is, they all knew, like, wait a second, something's not right here. It's like. Who are you? Like, why are you here? It's like, some random person is just here being protected for some reason. Like, okay, sure.
Yeah.
Positive. Yeah.
Yeah. Mike?
Like I said, I liked it a little more. I knew because I sort of just wrote the villains off as just like, well, they're going to be kind of dumb, I guess. But I did like the team up. I've been obviously waiting for this. I get more excited seeing like these street level people to team up than like, the cinematic people. Because like I feel like they make more sense as a team. These guys, I thought they were funny together. I like Stick's storyline and Daredevil stuff.
Stick.
Yes, I do wish they defined and built what the hell the hand was doing a little more, and they didn't wrap it up in such a kind of confusing, haphazard way at the end.
Fuck the hand, man. Fuck the hand.
But I'm very curious to see where they go, especially with Daredevil, see if Madame Gao somehow gets out of there. I feel like she's going to. And what's going on with Elektra now? I mean, like, we didn't really talk about her too much, but I don't know
her motivations were all over the fucking place.
Well, yeah. I don't know what really to make of her, like what went wrong or what she can do now. It's a lot of more questions that I need to answer, but I'm looking forward to them.
Yeah.
Which is like a Luke Cage Iron Fist as a single show now going forward. Like, I don't think they need individual shows anymore. I really think they should be like a thing together. Okay. But yeah.
All right. Well, that's going to wrap up this Spoilercast, folks. Thanks for tuning in. Tune into our regularly scheduled programming. We have episode 360s coming up. Movie cast and games cast. So thanks for tuning in. Write us a podcast at allicangeek.net and follow us on Twitter, allicangeek as well. Like us on Facebook. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. Sayonara.